Let's talk about friends. Do you have lots of friends?
I do have quite a few friends. I feel like I have more acquaintances than friends. The people who I really care about, I think I can definitely count them on my fingers.
Who is your best friend and why?
I don't know how to answer this question because if I say any one person, the others are going to come after me. And also, I don't have just one best friend. I have maybe 3 or 4 very good friends who I look to for help, counseling, advice. And I treasure them. I really appreciate each and every one of them for different reasons.
Are you the type of person that makes friends easily?
It's really interesting because in a new environment, I can be rather closed off. I've had people tell me, actually, you're very nice, once they get to know me. But I kind of am a bit more of an observer. Not that I'm not willing to socialize with people, but I kind of like to suss out my environment before I say anything in case I offend anybody.
Now let's talk about flowers. Have you ever given anybody flowers?
I give people flowers all the time. I think it's really lovely to receive a bouquet of flowers. What's funny is that not that I'm not a big fan of receiving flowers, but I'm not really bothered about receiving flowers.
Is it popular to give flowers in your country?
Yes, but I think we have to avoid white flowers because they use white flowers at funerals. I'm not sure if I'm getting this right, but I think there are certain colors that we need to avoid.
What kind of flowers do you like to receive?
I don't like cliches, so I don't like red roses. I love sunflowers. I like daisies, anything that's bright and happy and cheerful and not particularly extravagant or out there.
Now let's talk about food. Do you enjoy cooking?
Oh, I love cooking. I have tried to improve my cooking skills during the past year or 2. I would say I was successful. So I've tried my hand at quiches and Thai food. I love Thai food. I love the flavors, the turmeric and the lemongrass. It's very, I think, distinctive. Oh, I've tried baking as well. I still cannot get my whipped cream to stiffen. It melts a bit, but we'll see. Let's see how we can fix that.
What are the most popular dishes in your country?
In Taiwan, we love to promote our stinky tofu. It smells absolutely horrendous, but people tend to like stinky tofu. They prefer the fried version to I don't know if they boil it, but they prefer it fried. They say it tastes best, but I can't get over the smell. Other things we do really well, bubble tea came from Taiwan. That's a huge trend around the world. And we have our own version of fried chicken, which I really love. It's very good.
Let's talk about noise. Are you comfortable with loud noises?
No. In general, no. Construction sites are understandable. Angry, shouting people, not so understandable. So I think it depends. If it's a construction site next to your office and you have to be at the office, I can tolerate it. But if it's someone just being a bit extra, then maybe we'll skip that.
What type of noises do you come across during your daily routine?
Types of noises, everyday noises. I think a lot of the noises that we hear every day are can be quite familiar and homey, such as the toaster going off or an egg sizzling in a pan. They're quite random, but they can be quite, like I said, comforting. Describe a tourist attraction that you would recommend. So I highly recommend Siem Reap. It's these beautifully preserved temples in the middle of the Cambodian jungle, and it is a UNESCO heritage site. But apart from that, one of the temples also appeared in Tomb Raider. It's the Tomb Raider film with Angelina Jolie, because I know that they got another actress to fill that role recently, actually. You'll remember there's a scene where she's in a temple and there's a Buddha head that's kind of like buried in a tree trunk. People tend to remember that temple for that reason, and so they go to visit this temple when they're in Siem Reap. In general, I love Cambodia. It was the first trip that I felt really connected to. Prior to that, I'd been to Europe and I was in Paris, Luxembourg, Spain. I did this whole trip because I was on exchange. Europe is beautiful. Europe is very beautiful. But I felt a special connection with Cambodia and I would definitely go back. So apart from Siem Reap, I would recommend Phnom Penh as well. But definitely if you have to go to Cambodia, you cannot miss Siem Reap. There's this eerily beautiful vibe or energy about the place that I really enjoy. It's very peaceful and very quiet.
So we've been talking about a tourist attraction that you would recommend. Let's continue to talk about museums and art galleries and the holiday industry. Do you believe that all museums and art galleries should be free?
So I would say my first instinct is to say that yes, I believe that art galleries and museums should be free because what's inside them, all the artifacts and historical paintings and books and whatnot, they belong to the people, they belong to the human race. However, I also understand that upkeep is expensive. Maintenance is also very costly. So I think maybe charging a small fee is very reasonable. I like what they've done in France, especially, because they allow people to go to museums for free every first Sunday, I believe, of the month, something like that.
What kind of things make a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit?
I would say it would depend really on the person, because what I find interesting might not be very interesting for somebody else. What I find interesting, I would say mostly, I like Salvatore Dali and René Magritte. So I like a lot of surrealist painters if we're talking about art. But I also do enjoy, I really like the National, is it the British History Museum? Yeah, in London. That one was really nice.
Now let's talk about the holiday industry. Why do you think some people book package holidays rather than traveling independently?
I think some people do so because they don't really like the planning aspect of it, perhaps. I'm someone who really enjoys traveling independently. The only time I did travel with a group was when we went to Egypt, because there are some tourist attractions that you cannot access if you're not with a tour guide. That was the only time we ever traveled with a group of people. Perhaps I think senior citizens, they might enjoy traveling in a group. It would make things more interesting as well.
Are there any negative impacts of large numbers of tourists visiting an area?
When I used to live in Paris, I felt the negative impacts quite intensely. There's a lot more traffic. There's a lot more, how would I put it? Hubbub. Lots of crowds. It's very chaotic. It can get very messy. People are shouting. But I think in general, the pros outweigh the cons, because for countries such as France, they depend strongly on tourism for a large part of the country's income, the GDP. So I don't know. I like tourists for the most part. Why not?
That's the end of the speaking test. Well done.
Thank you.